Hello again. This is Lana J. Ray, and I'm back with you for another section. This is just spiritual teaching, biblical teaching in more of an application sense. Um, Go back and watch I've done like 4 parts already to kind of get us up to this point where we can look at exactly um, the revealing of how bad evil can be when it's running a nation. When there's corrupt people that's been embedded in our nation and over our nation as controlling people over a nation, and it's very similar to the Pharaoh over the Jewish people in Egypt back in the Exodus time, and how there was people involved, including Moses, but also the people that helped him um, to free these people and to take out the enemy. God did not remove the Jewish people from the earth. Now they did get headed toward the promised land, and then it became difficult again, and people wanted to go back and be slaves again, and they wouldn't, just all kinds of stuff. But it was a rough time. They would change their mind. But God wants us going forward with freedom and liberty. And in a nation, we need to be having freedom and liberty and justice for all. And so I'm tying this all together because it's something I've had to work through myself and get involved in my nation, in my county, in my city. And I just believe that we're all, in some way, we're called to be involved. And so now I'm in Ephesians 4. And I did a video just a little bit ago on more of spiritual giftings, gifts that it says God gave us gifts, Jesus gives us gifts, and Holy Spirit gives us types of gifts. So now in Ephesians 4, after it talks about what Jesus gave as gifts, which is the apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, and teacher for the equipping of the saints, building up the body for the work of ministries, which can be anything. It's the work of ministry. Here again, guys, get it out, the renewing of your mind. It's not a place, a building. It's not a ministry. It's not a nonprofit. It might be. It doesn't have to be. You can do it in your neighborhood, at the grocery store, at your work, at the gym. The work of ministry is not a pedestal position. That's that just came to me. Pedestal position is not, God's not interested in that. He's interested in your heart and you helping people right where you are. And you're all on the same level. No one's smarter than someone else. No one has more of the love of God than someone else. God's not playing favorites. He's wanting everyone to come to the full knowledge of who he is, but we're all at different places in that. And but we should stop the mindset of pedestal positions where we place a pastor up there on that pedestal and then he does something really stupid. He does something really, he or she, they do something really stupid, and now we're just, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They were so wonderful. That should never happen. That is sin right there. Sinful activity is putting somebody on a pedestal instead of Jesus. So, just stop it. Stop it. Here's how bad it can be in a nation, guys. Here's how bad it can be. We're taking the word and actually taking it to a level of what it's meant to be instead of watering it down, and evil's just a little something kind of silly, but most people aren't really that bad. They wouldn't kill our children. Oh no. All right. So Jesus gave us gifts that we should no longer be children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the trickery of men in the cunning craftiness of deceitful plotting. Do you know that there are people in our government and people that run our government that we don't know who they are, maybe, and maybe we do now, and they are plotting deceitful strategies for us. They are cunning and crafty, and they're tricking. They're trying to trick us. They are lying to us. They're tricking us. How are they doing that? Well, they tell us about NASA in the media. And they show films of people in spacesuits walking around in places that you can find in Nevada. That could be. I mean, that's kind of my opinion based on things that I've seen. But what if I'm right? What if the things that I've seen are really true? Are you going to be okay? Do you understand the degree of lying, the degree of trickery of men where they trick us and they say all kinds of stuff through the only voice we have is the mainstream media. We now have our phones that give us a lot more places we can hear things. But the mainstream media is still reporting things going on in the U.S. Congress. And of course, I'm in the United States. I'm in Missouri, so I'm primarily talking about that. But every country is undergoing governments where people are stepping down. You got CEO presidents, all of a sudden they're dying, they're leaving. What's that about? And, social media, we left Zuckerberg or whatever his name is. He's gone kind of off the scene, but we're going to hear about him again. But speaking the truth in love may grow up in all things. He's wanting us to not be children, but he's wanting us to be speaking the truth in love so that we can grow up and in all things in him who is the head of Christ. So he doesn't want us tossed to and fro, carried about, or have our mind renewed to evil plots and trickery of men. Now, Ephesians 5, I'm jumping over here now into some really important, this is important, so don't leave me yet. So Paul is now saying, for you were once darkness. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness, righteousness, and truth, finding out what is acceptable to the Lord, and have no fellowship. Okay? And we got to understand what that word fellowship means. Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. For it's shameful to even speak of those things which are done by them in secret. But all things that are exposed, revealed, are made manifest. They're revealed by the light, for whatever makes manifest is light. And so, awake, you who sleep, arise from the dead, and Christ will give you light. See that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. There's so much more. Have no fellowship. That's not a, he's saying don't get just real close to them. Don't like tell them all your stuff and be real friends with somebody. But have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness. You know, darkness, it's like in our nation, and we've been getting a lot, you know, we've got the movie, the Freedom movie for the sex trafficking is big of our children, of women and men. We are learning about the tunnels where they went from country to country under the waters, under cities, under pizza places in Washington, D.C., in the White House even. There could be tunnels going from there to the ocean. You can think that I'm overdoing it here, but we should be expecting evil to manifest like that, because these people, there's people that are this evil. They just are. They were back then. You know, Paul's talking about it. And once again, they were sending in the Old Testament, they were sending their children into Moloch, into the fire. So their little 2-year-old, they were making them die, walk into the fire as a sacrifice to Moloch, alive from the pit of hell. But that's what they thought. They had renewed their mind to that. That's what they thought. And they believed that they were getting something, some good thing from doing that. There's nothing new under the sun, guys. Ecclesiastic. There's nothing new under the sun. Expose them. Here's the thing, but rather expose them. It's horrible to even speak of those things which are done by them in secret when they're the pedophilia. These people are taking children in the secret places, behind the doors, in their houses, under the buildings, in the tunnels, whatever. And it's shameful what they've done in secret. It's horrible. We're supposed to expose them. Expose them, not run from it. Not run away, not hide hide the media. Not, cry out, Jesus, come and get us. We're ready for the rapture. Come, man. Come on, take us out of here quick. Take us out. No. Here again, that is a running thing right now. I see it all the time. I see it on the chat channels. I see it everywhere. I hear it in patriot groups. I hear it everywhere. you know, man, if Jesus would just come, if the rapture would just come, it would be awesome. No, it wouldn't. It might be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be wonderful. I'm just saying we shouldn't want that for right now. We should not want it until every person has come to Jesus that will possibly come into the kingdom, so that no one is left that shouldn't be left. But what I'm saying here is he's the one that gets rid of the evil. He leaves us here. When Moses delivered the people out of Egypt, he didn't just take them and leave. He steered and guided them into safety, and then God removed the evil. He washed Pharaoh and all that army away. He removed them. He removed them. When Noah built the ark, his family was the only ones, and he was safe in the ark on top of the water. The rest of the evil people, it said that they were all evil. Every thought of their mind was evil continuously. Can we even, it would be like every day there's children being killed and raped and tortured every day. Like that type of stuff all day, like evil all day. You got to get that thinking on what evil is, instead of, oh, they were sleeping around with their neighbor's wife. Oh my gosh, horror. Oh, yeah, you got to get into what's happening, the horrible stuff. Wake up. Wake up. But all things that are exposed are revealed. Then you can deal with it. Then the authorities can deal with it. Justice can be served then on these people. And that's exactly what needs to happen. It's going to be happening in our nation. We're preparing to see it. So how these things are being exposed, which is what we're supposed to do, is expose it, the darkness. We're still waiting for the Durham report. How long has it been? John Durham, the report. I think it's going to surface again and expose a bunch of stuff. I mean, the Hunter laptop. We've got Hunter's, like I think June 3rd or something, he's going to court about his, the case. Oh, I can't even think what it is, but it's not anything to do with his laptop. It's like, I mean, you talk about the whole pedophilia, sex trafficking. I mean, that's what's on the laptop. We're still waiting for whatever they've been doing with HARP. I can't think what that stands for, but it's studying of the atmosphere. And of course, we think that it's capable to produce tornadoes and hurricanes and all of that. It does stuff to the atmosphere. They've worked on that for a long time. I think they've been doing that. This is May 13th, 2024. And I mean, we've had tornadoes all over the place. This is just ridiculous. It's the timing of this stuff is just ridiculous compared to all the rest of the things that's ridiculous. All the Trump cases where there's no reason for them. They're just, it's going to expose the other people. We get to watch it. They've got things like the Blue Beam Project, where they not only have HARP, but they can project things into our sky. I think this is going to be really interesting. I think finding out more about the things that are happening with the sun and the moon. I think there's more to that. Technology and what they can do. Inflation is at a all-time high. I mean, grocery stores, I go in and I'm, $6 for a box of crackers. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Um, they're they're talking about, you've got the World Health Organization wanting to take charge and be able to tell us what to do, make us wear a mask, make us take a vaccine. They tell us and we have to. No, we need to be, first of all, it's coming out now. AstraZeneca is taking all of the vaccines off the market because it's showing heart issues. And we've already seen all these athletes drop dead on the field. We've already seen people that, how many, is there millions of people that have died from this? We don't know. We know on chat channels, people talking about their relatives, how many people's died and got heart conditions now, different things going on. And they've been vaxxed to the max with all the boosters and everything, and it's not even needed. It's not even needed. These are your wicked people, guys. These are the people tricking us, and they're evil. They want the new world order, and they don't want as many people to have to control. It's bad. It's bad. But there's exposure coming, and this is what President Trump's doing in all these court hearings, and as he does his rallies, he's speaking out the things that are happening, what this Biden guy's doing, and all of the wanting you to watch the Speaker of the House. They want you to watch Congress. He's wanting you to get involved in your communities. He's wanting you to voice your concern. He's wanting to activate, and the military is also, the good parts of the military generals are wanting us to activate into our society. And this is what has to happen for us to expose the evil. They're all going to do their part on these people that we don't even know who they are. We've heard Rockefellers, Rothschilds. We've heard George Soros's name tossed around. We've heard Klaus Schwab. We've heard Bill Gates. We've heard all these people that are doing things to control us, to hurt us, to minimize our life. And even though it's went on for years and decades, there's an outcry that reaches God, and then everything flips, and we're in it. We're in the flip, the big flip. The big flip is here. It's here. Now, that's a few things. The 2020 election fraud's going to have to come out. We have to fix 2020. You guys may think I'm just off my rocker because we're in 2024, but I'm telling you, we are never forgetting 2020, because that's when most of us woke up to knowing there was a real problem. President Trump never conceded. You'll never find where he conceded 2020. It's still open. And if California decided to tell Congress that they found fraud, they found ballots, they found all that they found in the state of California, they could pull back their 55 elector votes and bring the Biden guy down underneath that number that he would have needed. I can't remember what it is. One state could throw it into U.S. Supreme Court could hear the Brunson case, which I've heard they already have, so that the majority of Congress, of the U.S. Congress, would be removed, and the whole Biden administration, because they did not even look at the fact of whether there was election fraud or not. And because Congress did not take it serious, the statement serious, they became traitors. The ones that voted to carry on with the elector count, they are traitors to the people because they didn't at least investigate it. That's the Brunson case. And the U.S. Supreme Court has heard it, but we're waiting for their reply. Boom. It could happen like overnight. This is how exposure works. And God's all about it. He's all about exposure of truth. When there's trickery and lying and deception and corruption, he wants it exposed. And then he wants justice. And we have to be a part of this. We do. I think I'm going to stop there.